Okay, everyone, and we are back with the First Circuit Podcast number 41. This is Larsh, your casual Mechwarrior. I've been gone for a few weeks, but I'm finally back. So, for tonight, we have Byter.
Blarg.
And Old Bob 10025.
Hey, everybody.
Alright, so, I know we have been out, we took a break last week, so I know we're going to probably do some catch up on some old topics, and then we're gonna get
our announcement.
Yes, first our announcements. Thanks, Byter. I was getting to that. No, it's fine.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Anyway, guys,
Get on with it.
Get on with it. So yes. Just to let everyone know who watches our First Circuit podcast, since we usually do the live streams on my channel on YouTube, on Old Bob's channel on his YouTube, and Ian when he's also here. And anyone else who has a channel that might do live streams. Tonight is going to be our last live streamed podcast. Going forward, any other podcast that we do is going to be pre-recorded and released on a weekend or
on Monday.
Or on Monday, yeah, I think was the other day we were thinking of. Because for the past week or so, we've realized that many of us live in different time zones, different countries, and sometimes our schedules don't always mesh right. So we're going to find a time that does work for everyone on various days, but then release it on a day that we know that will work for you, the audience.
Yep. So we had scheduling problems last week. The fixed day of Friday, it meant not many people could actually even turn up. It was basically going to be just me, I think.
Yeah.
It's much better if we adopt a flexible time and we just try and get people in, and we release it on Monday, which is usually just before patch day anyway. So
yeah, so that works out.
Sadly, it won't be live streamed, or if we are ever going to live stream, it'll be spontaneously when we figured out the time. But pre-recorded.
It was just getting too hard though to go ahead and like rush home to work and being like on a fixed time schedule. Especially, I just realized Byter's from Britain. Oh my god! But it was just too hard to go.
I mean,
I start 1 a.m. every day, every time for this podcast.
Yeah, no lie. I mean, okay, so my smartwatch allows me to put different time zones on it. Because of the podcast, I actually have London as a second time zone on my smartwatch to keep track of everyone else on here.
Damn.
Yeah, and I mean, and like Ian, he's German, so he's all the way
a couple hours
even
London time.
Yeah, so that's a whole other thing. So I think doing a pre-recorded will help us out and might keep everyone in a more awake state even. I think that'll work out better.
Like TTB and Bryos, actually, I want to get Bryos like in here as well. He has a lot of insight on teamwork and how to go, and plus how to play as well. And the problem, and he couldn't really get into it because of scheduling.
And not only that, but that guy he needs more viewership because he actually does put a lot of effort into his stuff. So mainly if people don't know him, go find Bryos, or it's under clan. Was it B? Something
BTXR or something like that.
Something like that. God, we're horrible at doing
links down below. Links down below.
Are there really? But for reals though, he has a really cool channel. But anyway, I think so I guess to end that little bit is that look forward to future podcasts being released on Mondays and hopefully better. I think they'll be better overall because it will allow us to really get together and do some post-production work if we need to kind of even trim the fat if we have some, which always happens.
It's work in progress, but basically it's releasing on Mondays is the practical result.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, now did we have any topics you wanted to rehash from things we missed from last week at all, guys?
Yeah, there was a couple, I think.
Yeah, there's like a couple of things out there.
Yeah, so we have 2 weeks of stuff to sort of catch up on. First was the GDPR patch, which required everyone to agree to a new updated terms of service.
Yeah,
and there was a patch on the game. The GDPR patch, as far as I'm aware, at least, was I did my reading last week. The guys actually did a very good summary of European law is requiring online sites providers, all of them, to be a lot more transparent or have the options to be transparent with the data they collect on their users. So they, in the terms and services, tell you what data that they're collecting on you, and that data is supposed to be made available for people to view and possibly even ask to be deleted as per their request. So overall, it's a much more consumer-oriented. At least my impression is that if you have more ability to learn what info they're tracking on you and to be able to delete or view that info yourself, that's a lot more rights to the consumer. And that's why at least all the websites all across the web to catch up with this newly implemented EU legislation are doing updated terms of services. And
Sure.
Lastly, at least for PGI, they have to have a dedicated data managing officer along with all these other companies.
So we're beholden to Europe again, right? Great.
I was gonna say, so it's your fault that we're doing this.
Well, we're trying to leave, actually.
all right. Well, we'll give you some credit.
To make up for it, though, at least because you're putting everyone through a bit of hassle, though, everyone's going through a bit of hassle with all the websites. PGI was nice enough to gift people a free Nova champion.
Woo! Everyone out
Nova.
there, get my mech. Like it or not, you're getting my mech.
Yeah, basically Larsh's Nova champion mech, which is really good because the Lermageddon was happening and the AMS system is not bad. You did a pretty good job on that mech.
Yeah, granted, I will admit that build, it's gonna run hot. And that's back when I really didn't care about optimizing my groups for lasers and watching the heat. So if you want to see a newer build, go watch my video on the new build that I built in this thing. Go do it. But like I'm pretty happy, and I was more surprised that this is the one they chose because so on Twitter every promotionary item that has been with champion mechs has been this mech.
Yeah.
So
I think to some degree, though I might be wrong, at least they gave the champion Uzil away lately. They're giving champion Nova because these mechs might be played a bit less on average, and that's their way to try and get people to try out this mech that isn't being used so much anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Nova I could see being used more than the Uzil though. A lot more.
I'm just saying, though, at least if someone's taking a Clan 50 tonner, they're typically going to take the Huntsman, and so the Nova in terms of player quantity actually being played dropped down a lot.
Granted, I did cry whenever I was in games, and I would see my champion with no AMS on it.
I just sort of stare at them and that's the whole point. It's one of the best AMS mechs in the game.
Yeah, because it gives you 30% AMS rate of fire. Frickin' use it. It's the best.
There's a lot of people saying they're more excited about the mech bay than the mech though.
Hey, whatever. I mean, hell, I know right now if I go to my mech bays, I have how many of these do I have now? I have how many? Oh, whoops! Oh, I'm on NVIDIA only. Oh, I gotta change that.
No, don't change that. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's good.
I
now have 3 Nova S's because I have the champion that they gave me after mine became. No, wait. Yeah, 3 champions, and so I have 2 champions and my standard S that I made a while back.
Oh, I should actually get rid of my other S and just keep the champion then.
Yeah, I should probably sell one of these.
It's like XP, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm trying to skill up the champion and going to sell the the other one that I had.
Yeah.
Okay, that works out good.
Yeah, I just want to segue a little bit. Have you guys, either of you guys, heard about Article 13?
What?
That's being trying to be passed in the European Union.
No, go ahead.
So a big learning point, at least with this GDPR patch, is even though it's supposed to only really affect those in Europe, obviously everyone is having to update and play by the new rules. And to some degree, at least with regards to privacy rights in terms of what information they gather on you, a lot of nations are moving towards the GDPR, I think, particularly with, Cambridge Analytica scandals. That's probably a big, huge...
Oh, I know about that one.
Push the whole thing through. So with the internet being global and Europe being at least a fairly large player on a lot of this, we can see, the impact it has on, even oddly enough, Mechwarrior Online, which, it's not like a Facebook or anything like that. They're gathering out data on what mech packs you buy and how much you play or whatever. It's not that malicious, honestly. Now, Article 13 is an interesting one that's currently trying to be pushed through European Parliament, and this also will have wide-sweeping effects on internet usage, at least particularly for those in Europe. It's somewhat like my simplest, like there's a lot of, bits and pieces in it that are obviously subject to change, and it all depends how they're implemented. But there's, it's kind of like, how YouTube, if you upload a movie to YouTube, they have a copyright system that removes it. What that is trying to do is extend the rights of copyright to the majority or a large number of social media sites with a lot more on top of that. So,
dude, there's so many videos. Like, dude, I wanted to make a video. I'm like, this is an awesome song, but no, cannot be played except for out of Japan.
Oh yeah,
nowhere outside of Japan. It's like, really? It's like, dude, no, don't do that.
Yeah. So the idea is like there's some proposals, for example. Now, who knows how much will actually get through or how it will be changed in the future? But some things would be like, hey, Discord, if you want to have, any clips of the new Marvel movie or whatever, you have to pay Marvel for the right to have that copyright on the Discord servers.
Ooh.
And that, this is stuff like Facebook, Discord, etc. If you guys like posting memes, I think this would really speak to Larsh. If you want to take a picture of Optimus Prime and write and say something random at the bottom, it will be the responsibility of Discord to shut that down. Possibly.
That's ludicrous because it's got to be overreaching bounds. Now, if that country like America, they probably won't have that. But like Europe, if you guys want to have that, hell, go and have it. Have fun not watching anything. Have fun not having memes. But keep it to your own country, dude. No, don't have it on the whole internet. That's like total censorship. That's crazy.
Because my Discord and Commander Lemmings will die.
Oh Jesus, yeah, I know. A lot of people's Discords will die.
Yeah, so the fear is, of course, that this is going to have huge overbearing restrictions that force companies to either just, give us a really censored version in Europe or apply this to everyone. And that, at least, is why, if you know any European friends, tell them to get onto this topic or at least look into it more than what I've given today. There's a lot to it, and obviously, we're not specialized in this or this, that, whatnot, and the other. And there's other bits and pieces, like, for example, if Google wants to, for example, in search results, have news articles at the top, they have to pay the news sites for
Dude, you might as well call it China. Or North Korea, dude. The internet now is called North Korea. Dude, come on, dude, that's ludicrous. And to force companies or force say I want to go put out a video, I gotta go pay in order for it to be seen by anybody. That's crazy. That is so crazy.
It could this type of stuff has been done. I've heard in Germany and other Hungary, I think, as well, and it results in typically at least any local startups absolutely failing because obviously they're in complete charge of anything and everything people say, at least in regards to in this thing, it's more copyright oriented.
Well, Germany has a huge copyright thing for music, though. I mean, freaking huge. Any video I look at cannot be played in Germany. It's like, well, I'm sorry, Ian, you can't watch a video, dude.
Yeah,
sorry, it's not going to happen. And for that to happen, it's going to kill a lot of different things. And I think if that does pass, there'll be so many people that'll just be pissed off about that. They'll do the what was the last one that they had? Or the net neutrality. Yeah. That's just, dude, I'm sorry. That won't happen in the United States. There'll be no way in hell. If that happens, that's just going to kill the internet. Literally.
Well, that's exactly also the thing, at least with also United States enforcing its own, more draconian measures that also could affect us over here on the other side of the pond. So it's a really weird, to try and wrap up, since we don't want to spend too much on this, the GDPR patch, I think, is generally more consumer friendly, but obviously the United States and Europe in particular, with this Article 13, can have very consumer unfriendly practices and make an end to the Wild West that is the current internet, and make it a lot more mainstream corporate, internet. You're only shown what you're allowed to. You're heavily monitored, etc., etc. You can't post any memes or whatever.
In fact, you might as well call it Article 66. Order 66. Might as well call it
just
that.
killing off the internet.
Just kill off the internet.
It's like, please just don't touch the internet. It's gonna kill all the fun creative items in the internet. Just don't.
That's the best thing about the internet. It's a wild west, and there's so many things you can do, and it opens up new doors for different people that are say like in cash-starved nations, that they could go ahead and do startups. They could do like different things. You never know what's going to happen, and that's the greatest thing about the internet. And for it to be killed, literally killed like that, it's going to be crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's overbearing with the means to try and return balance to the force, in their opinion. But you could talk about this forever. Just like, for example, at least with the whole Google paying media for the links to be up top, type of stuff. This goes all into the media stuff. But basically, back in the day of print media, there was a huge, they had a lot of funding, and that funding has plummeted because of course people aren't buying newspapers anymore. But the online news media makes a pittance compared to what it is, and that's why we're seeing all the problems with the media today. Let's just say that. And,
without getting too deep.
And that's, at least in regards to European media, of course, means that they are lobbying for, hey, our money has, the amount of money we're generating has gone in the toilet, and there is a place in society for proper journalism. We demand you put in laws to give us our proper due. There is logic to that argument, but obviously curb stomping the rights of the common man all over the world is a little bit overkill.
Well, that'd be like killing our podcast because it doesn't adhere to certain things throughout the European Union. So that would kill startups like us, basically talking about different things, talk about different topics, and it would just kill it. And you won't see things like this online anymore if it does happen, because like you said, it's going to curb stomp the common man.
Yeah,
or curb stomp the user, but also the small businesses.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
but guys, we are on a gaming podcast. We should probably move on.
Games.
I just thought it was an important aside.
No, it's very important.
If I'm giving the EU praise, I should also say, well, actually, around the corner.
Please.
But let's roll along here, because if we probably spend a good, I want to say 1/4 of the podcast on rulings and political things. So I think the next thing we have is coming up here is MechCon, guys. We have MechCon coming up later on in the year, and then the tickets go on sale real soon.
June 4th.
Tickets,
there you go.
Yep, June 4th for a couple of days. So basically Monday they start the sales. It will be in Vancouver on December, was it 1st and 2nd? So
for 2 days. And sorry, go ahead.
3 times the venue size from last time. So they're really upping the scale of it, I think.
Yeah, I guess they're really expecting to have a bigger turnout, probably because of Mechwarrior and I would assume BattleTech and Mechwarrior 5.
Yeah, Mechwarrior 5.
With all the things coming out here, it's going to be a big deal probably.
I've been talking to a lot of other YouTubers, and everyone, there is a Best Western that's going to be next to the convention center, from what I understand. We're all going to be staying there. So if you can't get your tickets or go get your rooms there, we'll be hanging out.
Oh, cool. I wonder if I haven't checked the cost of the hotel. I wonder what it is.
I think it's like $80 a night.
That's doable.
Yeah, and it looks halfway decent too. It's not. It looks pretty good. So.
As ever with conventions or whatever, the faster you are to book, the hotel reservations right next door, the better off you are, because otherwise you might have to book a hotel quite a ways away.
Yeah,
it's just a huge pain.
As long as they have free breakfast, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which actually, I think they feed you at MechCon.
Do they? I haven't been to MechCon yet, so
neither have I. But I saw photos from last year's MechCon, and there were photos of platters of food for the guests.
Are you sure it was like $10 for a sausage patty or something?
Maybe, but like it was like a like buffet style. I could be just completely talking on my ass, which I hope I'm not. But
particularly with such a large venue, it makes plenty of sense to open up a bar or do stuff like that to keep people sustained during the, because it runs for a fair amount of time each day. Otherwise, at least, of course, any of these convention halls, isn't there typically like plenty of food establishments nearby?
Cool. So MechCon, awesome. Everyone get their tickets. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the page from last year because now I'm curious. Well, yes, buffet style meals will be provided at set times throughout the day. So that was last year.
Great.
Yeah, and it was for a lunch, dinner, and a late night snack. Ew.
Interesting.
There you go. That of course will have to be factored into the price of the ticket, and we have no clue how expensive.
Yeah, we don't know what the price is.
Well, how much was last year?
Oh, I just closed the page. Let me go back real quick.
I know. I'm wondering as well, like, are they going to do, well, they had the tournament supporter stuff. Did they have any benefits for being a MechCon attendee? I think those were the skins, wasn't there?
No, that's for buying Battletech.
That's tournament.
Oh, okay.
No, I was talking about in Mechwarrior Online, kind of triangular patterns on the mechs. Like if you went to the actual MechCon, I think it was, you got it for a whole bunch of like 5 mechs or something like that. But if you got the supporter pack, it was just for 2 or something.
Oh, I found hotel rates on their page from last year,
it's
but I can't.
Like $50 or something.
It's probably something like 50 or probably $60. I can't find it, but I saw that the rates for the hotels here that they had was booking info for the Harborfront was $129 for a single. For the 1 room, whatever. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be $40 or $50 or something. We'll see. But also remember too is that if you're going from the States to the Canada, you still need to use your passport now, right, Bob?
Yes, you do. You need a passport, not a pass card.
Yeah, passport.
Yeah, passport.
Yes.
But like I plan to be from Thursday to about maybe Tuesday morning and just enjoy Vancouver.
Yeah. Now
with my wife. So
now, did you get your passport ready?
No, I'm still working on it. I still got to go to a place that doesn't have gunfights in front of the stores.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because I was reading online that I think it does take about 4 to about 6 weeks for a passport to be processed. So I know I'll be doing it, and my wife also wants to go, and she wants to cosplay. Cool. So she actually she wants to cosplay as Macross stuff. So. Yeah, because her and our current roommate here at the house, they actually they're actually going to the local community college here in Pittsburgh because they actually have classes on how to sew. So if we go, which I think we're most likely going to be going. If you see us, we're probably going to be in original Macross attire. Or for those of you who watch Robotech, it's the Macross saga of Robotech. That we're going to be doing uniforms, and we'll probably be there in suit.
And so you're going to be Rick Hunter, and she's like Lisa Hayes?
Probably.
That's cool, dude. That's awesome.
Like after last MechCon, when Sean came in with the shark pajama thing. You need to find what that is. Like, find it on Amazon, buy it in bulk, hand it out to your mates, and then just walk up to Sean.
I'm going to cosplay as Sean Lang.
Oh God, no. Oh my God. Okay.
So MechCon coming up looks like it's gonna be a thing. I just gotta see what the price is. Okay, now also as a random other topic, I don't have it here on the page, but Grim Plexus has been fixed.
Finally, yay!
Yeah, so
Grim Plexus was actually people were complaining about mass disconnects in Grim Plexus, and they said, "Oh, hey, yeah, we actually have found this out. We're going to take Grim Plexus off for 24 hours, see if the problem persists." And they found out the problem. The problem was that it would mass disconnect people if someone dropped in the match on Grim Plexus in a spider.
Yep.
That still blows my mind. That if you had a spider, it would crash Grim Plexus.
That is
why?
Crazy, though.
No, I mean,
such a weird bug.
I mean, did they ever bug spider? Did they ever explain the reasoning behind it? Was there
No.
coding issues? Or was like, oh, you've taken a shit to your mech. You can't play the game today.
To fix an issue where the spider mech was causing disconnects on Grim Plexus and other situations. So I guess it was causing problems with other mechs too, with other maps.
Well,
I
thankfully,
obviously have no clue whatsoever what caused it, but obviously, like, one can hypothesize. For example, let's just say you're loading up the map, and you get the starting screen, and it tells you what mechs are there. Because it's loading up all the different loadouts. And what happened is it tries to, it says, okay, the guy who says the spider says, I have a spider, and that goes to the server. And then when you ask, hey, what do you have? And it says, it has a error, code not found, and then it just waits, and everyone eventually kicks everyone off. It's something like that, where that's my guess, at least, is that you would have something where there's a bit of code where it doesn't actually, things aren't talking properly with one another, and there was a gap where they forgot to put in the spider.
it's almost like they were going to a club, and you have that like velvet rope to go into the club, and it's like, you're a spider, you can't come in because like you're not a cool guy. I don't know.
There's someone coming in with a certain outfit, and the bouncer just he just stops thinking, like, you mind wipe him. Things just break down. The infinite line forming behind you, and people are like, come on, man, what's going on? I'm just trying to enter. And then the bouncer like holds you firm, and you're like, I can't leave either.
And the bouncer is actually he's just a robot in like flesh skin.
Something weird like that.
He's actually a Terminator.
And it's also weird, at least, like, it was introduced recently with recent patches. So, it's just how games and bugs and stuff happen. Like, there's the weirdest interactions.
It's amazing. So, but yeah, I'm glad it's fixed. It's there's not a whole lot to go on. We have a half an hour left. Do we just want to go and talk about the main thing that was announced just like an hour ago?
Well, I think just to wrap up with the patches.
Sure,
so
go ahead.
First, we had to patch for the EU law stuff. Then we had to patch for the spider thing, and then I think they did a patch, or they fixed some of this. What was it? The SMW3. Like they've worked on the connectivity for Oceanic.
Yeah.
Right. That was the thing.
It's made a little bit better, basically, which is nice. That's good.
Yeah.
It will return to normal performance, so that would be good for Bryos when he's out there.
Yay.
Or the GTB or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they can, fingers crossed, Oceanic connections will be mediocre this time.
They'll be mediocre and no longer shit.
Yes.
And they did have a sale to Wreck Yourself. That was actually a pretty good sale. It wasn't
They've had
too
a whole
bad.
bunch of sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, please give us money. We need it.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a good sale. Like half off on the mechs, 30% bonus MC. Not bad sales. And the mechs I had were pretty good. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough to get my my Grey Death Shadowhawk, but oh well, that's okay. I'll get another time.
I spent all the MC I'd accumulated on the first sale. I didn't know there were 2 more following.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
Me too.
It's been sale after sale. But yeah, I completely breezed over this one and didn't even like buy anything from it. But hey, if you did, whatever, it's awesome.
And there was a double XP, what was it, weekend, basically, double XP event.
Yeah, that lasted longer than the weekend.
Yeah, it did.
Well,
it was nice.
Weekends are quote unquote like 3 days usually.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's okay.
No, it was good. I liked it. I raised some mechs up during the weekend, but
that
during the
actually
weekend,
got me.
I didn't have enough time to play.
Yeah, that got me invested to actually play, because the sales I already personally actually owned most of the mechs I want. So that doesn't draw me back. Whereas like, ooh, I can skill up all the mechs that are sitting around that I haven't finished.
Yeah,
that draws me back.
That's always a huge issue.
If they get players back, I think events are more the thing that draws me in, at least.
Yeah.
With double XP draws me in, definitely.
Yeah, because I got tons of mechs in my mech bays that have like 0 points into the skill tree altogether. Yeah, because time.
Yeah, it's all a nefarious scheme. First, you put on double XP so that people skill up their mechs but lose lots of C-bills. Yes. Then you put on mech sales so they can't buy the mechs.
It's an endless cycle of just bringing you in.
Oh, God.
And speaking of the new mech sales and things that are going to be coming out soon, new mech!
Incubus
been announced.
Yes,
Getting Incubus.
looks like a clan mech, garbage.
Oh, Bob is like clan
When I
mech
heard it's
immediately.
Incubus, I mean, is it sexy enough?
It looks sexy, I
symbolic?
guess.
I mean, I was a little upset that it didn't have a really sweet, album back in the early 2000s. So I mean, there's that.
Oh yeah, huh? It looks okay. It looks okay. It's not, it's a second line mech, which is a hard point mech. But yeah, it looks
Battle
all
mech.
right, I guess. Yeah, battle.
Yeah, so to cover the basics, 30-ton clan battle mech, typically always energy and ballistic loadouts across the board. No jump jets, no ECM, no mask or anything like that. All start with XL, Ferro, and Endo at least.
Mm-hmm. So I think the one thing that just the overall design of this thing, to me, it looks like they slapped together a Phoenix Hawk's legs with like the head of a like Arctic cheetah.
And what about the torso?
I don't know about that yet.
You know about that one yet? Yeah, I don't know the lore on this though. Like I never read the lore on a lot of the clan mechs, but yeah, I don't know. It's a 30-ton mech though. Like if it could perform well on the field, I mean, it doesn't seem like to have anything in the ECM and mask and the jump jet paywalls, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
but the hard point's what you're really going for though.
Yeah, I am surprised that this thing has no jump jets or ECM. Not one.
Yeah. Yeah, none of that fancy stuff on any of the variants. I did have a little look at Sana. So in regards to the lore, it's a second line battle mech, and the Innosphere were kind of confused as to its purpose. Indeed, they're like, wait, why has it got that loadout? What's going on? And well, the reason is that the clan is stuck on garrison duty, get kind of bored, and they like doing a lot of 1v1s.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, and this would they do a lot of 1v1s. It has all the weight saving equipment, and it has a whole bunch of weapons for different ranges, etc. That it says they turn them off to I guess it's part of, isn't it the you say I'll beat you with my hands tied behind my back kind of thing. You turn off.
I love that.
Make it a fair fight.
It's a mech made out from boredom.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
There's funnily enough, I think I'm a little sad that there isn't an Incubus 6, though obviously it wouldn't actually be put in the game because
the XXL engine,
yeah, XXL engine, and it has spiky feet
and talons,
talons on its feet, so it kicks people really
That's
good.
interesting, actually. Yeah.
Well, once we can get melee in this game.
So in good time with BattleTech.
Yeah. Clan invasion to BattleTech.
Next strength is that of augmented like elemental. So it has elemental strength, I guess. I guess that's good. Large pulse laser on the arm. A pair of VR medium lasers installed backup weapons. 4 machine guns are highly effective against unarmored like infantry. See, I think they're telling us something. They're gonna put infantry in the game because the Vulcan came out, and then now the Incubus came out, which is the infantry.
Could you imagine if they had infantry in this game?
God. That would be interesting. I don't know how in the hell they can do that if they have a spider break the game for one game map, let alone infantry like run around.
Well, just throw them into game mode like escort. Just sprinkle random infantry all over the place, and they shoot any mechs that come nearby. I'm sure that won't make that mode any more clustered.
I mean, I think that'd be kind of neat. Or have them for faction warfare, which I haven't played in probably almost a year now. Just have random infantry in faction warfare, and then have them respawn as just a nuisance or maybe an actual threat at some point.
Elementals, yeah, but not player elementals, because that just wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Sluggers armed with the whole squad is armed with one MG, and they walk up to a mech and.
Oh man, the AI of those things would be pretty. I don't know if they could handle the AI of a tiny human. If they can't
a lot of mechs are going to have fun looking down, and all the maps, in terms of the actual topography on the ground, it's good enough for giant mechs to walk over. Is it good enough for little people?
Yeah.
If you have jump infantry, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'd be kind of neat.
They jump everywhere. That's so annoying.
They would just
hop.
It'd be just a bunch of little fleas. It'd be swatting them out of the air.
We found the hopping AI didn't work, so they just float now. Hope that's okay, guys. Hope it helps with the immersion.
Oh God, no.
Well, Bob, I think maybe those like hovering orbs you saw on your one playthrough. Those are actually those are probably the test subjects for the future infantrymen.
No, that was just from a thing that I was experimenting with, trying to get my basically trying to get my my game to work. Yeah. And then I went in and said, okay, I'm gonna change this line to this, and then it's like, okay, let's see if this is gonna work or not. It works. I just didn't see any buildings. It's like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. All they had is just orbs of the placement of stuff.
Right. But anyway, rolling back to the actual mech here. So for our base pack, the build we're gonna get is pretty similar across the board, except for your right arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3, 2. Yeah. Wow. No.
Yeah, because
this has Vulcan syndrome in terms of hard points.
Yeah, because you're getting one energy, 2 ballistic, 1 energy, 3 ballistic, 1 energy, 2 ballistic on the left torso. Right torso is 1 energy, 2 ballistic, 1 energy, 2 ballistic, and 1 energy, 2 ballistic, all the way across.
The difference between the first and the second one is you remove an energy in the arm and put on a ballistic in the side torso.
Yeah. And then for the third one is that you're getting 2 missile in the
arm instead of energy. Yeah.
I would think the third ones we use the most, especially with missiles. You know, actually SRM6 in there.
For a 30-tonner, maybe.
SRM4s popping in there. Come on. With like 2 energy and then 4 light machine guns. I think that'll be build.
Maybe
build for 30.
I think once you start putting in ballistic like machine guns and tonnage for ammo machine guns, and then once you're doing the missile, you're going to be running a little tight.
That's a bit like trying to outfit an Osiris or a Spider.
Oh God, that one's hard, dude.
This is going to be the same syndrome. Is that they're going to give you a plethora of options for hard points, but you're going to maybe use only about 75% of those. So,
the most direct competition, quote unquote, is what in the 30-tonners is Arctic Cheetah, similar looking shape, but that one can actually it always is stuck with a lot of jump jets and can take ECM. But the bigger problem with the Arctic Cheetah has just always been limited pod space. This one, I mean, you can also put in the small engine, you aren't stuck with a jump jet, so you can take a bigger payload. But for 30-tonners, you aren't taking that much of a payload to begin with.
Yeah, and it's going to suck if you do a smaller engine because it's, you're a light mech, which means you're going to be a little squishy, and you're going to want to go fast, especially if you're not running jump jets and you're not running ECM, and you're going to be a target if you're slow. You could be like an urban mech without the armor.
Yeah, pretty much. And it wants to do the kind of pounce with machine guns plus some energy, which is pretty much what the Piranha has got nailed down to the end of time, probably. Because it doesn't have jump jets or anything like that to, have a little step up above the Piranha. And you already have mislinks, etc., that can jump in MG as well.
Exactly.
Have you noticed them? Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm really wondering what the edge is going to be that they're going to give this thing, because because right now.
Arctic Cheetah could do 6 machine guns in the arms and jump jet with ECM around and a couple of energy.
Yeah, so right now, so what this thing has going for it, I love the actual look and design of this thing, but once I get to the actual builds, I see that I can't use that left arm at all, except as a shield arm, which looks like a toothpick. I'm not gonna have any jump jets for that extra bit of mobility. I might just say screw it all and just shove in the biggest engine I can and just run small weapons.
The biggest engine it can run is basically the same max as, indeed, again, the Osiris and the Spider. And those can be kind of funny. You just throw in a whole bunch of small lasers, maybe some SRM2s or whatever, and just be a huge nuisance.
Exactly. This is going to be a huge nuisance mech, which I've already owned a couple.
There's a lot of them that's already there, yeah.
Yeah, so there's already other options. So I think the other thing that is going to be a viable thing is that all the hard points, if you look at them, they're all at cockpit level.
Also, have you noticed most
The
of
side torsos certainly are. Like we can see that. Like it's going to have the. There's going to be people who take the 2 large laser Arctic cheetah style, and
woo, woo. Yeah.
That was my death call. I don't want to.
Have you noticed though that most of the paywall mechs have most of the missile systems like inside of them now? Because if you look at the Saber, it has 3 missile systems.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the well, except for the 3, but the most of the designs now for all the different mechs that are coming out from PGI always have the missile systems behind a paywall.
Yep.
Which is the Saber.
Maybe they found it like pretty successful with like I might be wrong with this, but it was somewhat like the Annihilator hero, the Mean Baby.
Mm-hmm.
They did that
really?
one.
Oh yeah.
That was the only Annihilator with missile hardpoints.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we had, I remember at least the other escalation one, the Night Star.
Yeah,
that one again.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyone with missile hardpoints.
Yep.
The Fafnir hero wasn't necessarily the only one with missile hardpoints, but it was a missile plus energy plus ballistic, which is way better than somewhat ballistic plus missile.
Yeah.
Making it again the most missile-y one, and these were all the really hefty mechs. The Thanatos had the 5 missile arm with a whole bunch of energy, whereas there was another one with like 6 spread all over the place, but it didn't have the missile fist.
Mm-hmm.
The glowy fist.
Paywall.
Oh
Yeah. And the Vulcan and the Incubus, the 2 most recent packs, have very similar loadouts across the board, except for the heroes, which have either the only ones with missiles or slightly more missile.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like one of their things they're doing now, which, I mean, for a business standpoint, hell, go do it. No problem. Sorry, I got allergies.
No, that's cool.
And Blood Asp, that hero mech, has also got the missile side torsos, allowing you to do a more missile-y loadout. Otherwise, you're stuck at 3 missile, 1 with CT, 1 in each arm, as the most you can do. Like I think kind of Josh, you said, "Oh look, I got all the mech pack. I'm gonna do a 5 missile loadout." It's like, yay, you bought. Well, you were given the hero or bought the hero or whatever. I don't have that.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. And then the only one with energy with 7 is it's a 4 that has a 7 like energy hard points. Which I mean, I see that being played a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the like we talk about laser vomits, and just because that's been the new meta now, just laser vomit like crazy with the magical potions.
Even the Flea is a missile hero.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Wow. That's a trend.
Obviously, it's a small little 20-tonner, but the missiles again locked behind a paywall. And the thing is, actually, I really like my favorite types of weapons. Is the most often I use is missile. I use the streak launchers. And,
a lot of people use them. Yeah.
Not the streaks, but a lot of people love the missile launcher hard points. They're really flexible hard point. They're not super hot like a whole bunch of energy, and not super heavy like a whole bunch of ballistic. You can always use it to complement, an energy missile or a ballistic missile build. And it's always being put behind the paywall.
Yeah, and they will do decent damage, and I really enjoy seeing components fly off with them. It's just
So in this case, at least the hero is not enticing thus far. At least you'll remove, basically from the other one, you remove 1 ballistic hardpoint and add 1 missile to the CT, and they move the AMS hardpoint.
Yeah.
Away. Yeah.
That's it. It's just an AMS,
torso.
whatever. Yeah. Oh no, we wouldn't have to have you conflicting between the extra missile and AMS. And as for reinforcements go, there's the energy boat, and what's
2 energy, 2 ballistic, 1 energy,
Here's the
2
conflicted
ballistic,
boat.
and missile. Yeah, it's a conflicted boat. It's like we're gonna give you a mix of everything.
I mean, I could always use a ballistics. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's always fun to go shoot those because it sounds really cool with the sound packs.
So basically, just the 5. What you've done is compared to the 3, you take 1 missile off the arm and put 1 energy in the side torso. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, good God. Huh. All right. Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. What do you guys think, though? Yes or no on some of this here?
So, for the most part, I would say if this type of mech looks enticing to you, which is ballistic plus energy, the standard pack has you mostly covered, and you have the missiles available.
Yeah.
I don't think, like with a 30-tonner, it's kind of hard to fill those 3 missile hard points. And it's stuck in the CT, and yeah. So the hero is not that enticing. In the reinforcement pack, you're only getting it mostly for the energy boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say hold off unless you're a sucker and you really want those sweet decals of the steel abs and the goat eye.
And the Franken pattern and stuff.
And the colors, but
that's standard now.
I think I would pass if on this one, and because there's so many other light mechs clan light mechs that can do the same thing, but they
better.
But they're either better or we know they work. You can get them now for C-bills kind of thing. I think the only thing I'm going to be waiting, kind of like how I say every podcast with a new mech, is that we're not going to know how good it's going to be until we know what the quirks are.
Yeah.
True.
This and the Vulcan, they're so similar in terms of hard points. We have no way to tell if they're all going to be super generic line or all of them are going to have really radically different quirks.
Yeah, because it would be one of those things where if I knew what the quirks were, I would be like, oh, this is amazing. Like I might want to get it because ever since I've really learned to look at quirks now on the mechs, that for me is now a deal breaker when it comes to using the mechs I use.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. I've always been quirk retarded myself, though, basically, as far as like looking at them and going, oh yeah, I'll just use this.
Well, that was my thing until I began playing games with people in Discord and Byter who are like, hey, this thing has a quirk of this thing, it's gonna be like whatever. I'm like, oh, holy shit, this is amazing.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'd say at least if it's me, I'm kind of tempted for the standard pack, though in my mind it's on a similar level to buying the standard pack of the Osiris. It's only $15, and it's always sort of fun trying out a new light mech, or at least I like playing light mechs. But it's the 30-tonner category always sort of feels a little underwhelming in Mechwarrior Online in terms of how they've sort of balanced it out. 30-tonners can't fit that much stuff in, and unlike the 35-tonners, they don't have armor quirks up the wazoo like they should typically.
Well, for $15 though, it would be a good deal because, like I always say, $12 is standard, 30 days premium time. So for an extra $3, $1 mech. You get three mech bays for like $1 each.
You know
and
what?
Then the Warhorn, cockpit items, and everything else. So that's a
you're
good deal.
you're not wrong. That's a good point.
It's better than splurging out for an assault pack that turns out to be really mediocre.
Yeah, where
exactly.
you just take that one day when like you're not going to like McDonald's. Buy a mech pack and
or go to Dickie's Western Barbecue Pit. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm here in Pittsburgh. We don't have barbecue in Pittsburgh. We just have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have Permanis.
Hold on. What?
Permanis.
What the hell is that?
Permanis is a sandwich shop here, or so it's a sandwich or burger, but it's basically 2 large pieces of bread with either your choice of meat, and they then put fries and coleslaw on the sandwich.
I'm sorry, Larsh.
And to bring this whole podcast full circle, we should try and make that political somehow.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know how. Well, then again, you could say that because Permanis split up, and there's actually 2 different kinds of Permanis, and the owners had a disagreement, I think, somewhere along the way. So they were like, so you could make that political somehow. I don't know, Byter.
I don't know. I could try and bring up something related to Starbucks, but I just wanted to make that original.
Oh no! Please no.
Starbucks and their holiday cups.
No, their most recent thing that happened.
Oh, come here for reparations.
Good God! All that bullshit.
I did watch that one. That was funny. Oh my
Good God!
You went there as a gag.
Woo, we're getting off track today.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Yeah, we're off track like crazy.
See, this will be the one thing you might not get whenever we do a pre-recorded podcast. Should we keep these things in whenever we do these whatevers in the future?
Hopefully they don't mind the tangents, because it'll be very hard exorcising them from the recordings.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the new mech that's just recently been announced. I think we're kind of lukewarm towards it. Mostly, it's
that's a good way to put it.
I mean, for the cost though, if you want some premium time, might as well pick this up like anyways for buck a mech, and plus you get free, like actually 50 cents a mech plus a mech base. So it's not bad.
Yeah, and you do get those sweet cockpit standing items. I mean, those are always neat.
I sometimes just get packs like I want to see the new Warhorn.
I had a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the new loot system, basically, as far as the caches?
Oh, I like it. I think it works.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's certainly an improvement over before, but I have 5 or 6 piled up that I haven't bothered opening because I already have most of my stuff sorted out in the game, and I don't need anything from those boxes.
Yeah, actually, like I've been noticing though, it's like, okay, I got 3 items which I don't even look at like anymore, and then I got some decal. I'm like, okay, am I ever gonna use that decal? I have no clue, but it just seems that every cache now has a decal to make people happy, and I don't understand. I haven't seen a MC1. I've not seen a C-bill. Well, actually, I did see C-bill 1 on Bryos's thing for 100 C-bills. But the whole thing is, though, like, I've been lukewarm I'm lukewarm as far as, like, it just doesn't overwhelm you. It doesn't really, it's cool you get them for free, though, don't get me wrong. But the decals has just been, okay, cool, I got a decal. It puts it so the decals are not actually something you strive for, like, anymore.
In terms of reward system, at least, a thought that comes to mind at the very least is, you get 1 decal, but then it's like you get an ECM, maybe some mask, or some random omnipod. You get some piece of equipment, like that's used the trash items that they fill up. Mm-hmm. The thing is, these just go to your inventory where there's a huge amount of random stuff there already, and so it's just it doesn't actually feel like you're gaining those items too much because it's sort of hidden away behind. Yeah. It's like my spreadsheet has slightly larger numbers now. Oh, I feel so invigorated. Now, my thought at least is if instead of giving, like, people might be infused with, oh, I've got this mask thing. Well, I'm going to get mask whenever I buy a mask mech anyway, typically. So it's pointless. I'll sell it for C-bills. Now, here's a dumb thought. Why not just give them C-bills right away? Because then, at the bottom left corner, you've got C-bills, MC, and, those go up with time, just like with events. Like, events encourage you to go, play them typically through C-bills, MC, etc. So if they just did that with the boxes, it's like, oh, hey, they're helping me out with my grind. The more I grind, the more extra bits I get, and I can more quickly buy the mech I wanted and the equipment I want.
Well, it might be just for the new player as well, because like like old Bob, it's like, okay, cool, got another large lasers, like whoopee, I got like 700 more of those in storage. But for the newer player though, it would actually help them out. It's like, oh cool, like my alt account, it's like, oh wow, I got a freaking PPC, kick it, I don't have to spend 600,000 like C-bills for it. And so that might be why they do that though. But like if they did what you're saying though, they would never know what's inside their like inventory, or actually just go and purchase the crap or something.
Well, that's sort of the thing with the new player as well. It's like it's nice when I get that PPC, sure, if I just so happen to right now be wanting to make a PPC mech I wanted to just put it in. But obviously, at least when I started out, if I'm getting a random Gauss rifle, I'm like, well, that's great, but I have a Raven. I'm not putting, like, I can put it in there, but I have to buy an engine that's small enough to, it's... I might not even have a mech that could fit it. Whereas if it gave me C-bills, that makes it easier for me to, buy the weapon systems I want. It makes it feel less like a grind. It helps with the grind.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's kind of how it was.
It's an improvement over the previous loot box system because you only got 1 item. This time they had you a whole bunch of random stuff. It's still mostly cruft, but hey, at least we're getting handed craft after playing the game enough.
Yeah, and I think we tend to forget what it was like to be a new player. I mean, I'm on the side where, you know, if you got that PPC and you can't use it, then sell it. Then you're gonna get C-bills to buy a new mech.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at least for me as a new player, it was I wanted to try out all the mechs. So I buy a mech and I just use basically medium lasers on it because medium lasers are so common. You know, you get them with each time. And I didn't sell the equipment, but I didn't use all the other equipment because, yeah, I'm just basically buying and cycling and selling mechs. I'm cycling through them. For me, the big currency was C-bills because I'm trying everything out for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's kind of all we had on for going today, right, guys? Anything else?
Yep. I think that's it. Just to remind everybody, we are going to do pre-recording podcasts and have it on maybe Monday sometime. So just let you know, it'll be coming out. We'll be getting more people into the podcast as far as people from all around the world because it was just scheduling like issues. We had to do this.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap it up, this has been...
There's one other little thing, which is at least we internally said we were, you know, not going to do spoilers for BattleTech, at least for a month after release.
Yeah.
So at some point we could actually discuss the story. However,
That is true.
People have been so busy they haven't finished it up yet.
Yes,
And,
that's a whole other issue. Yeah. So I think, yeah, so maybe in the future we'll actually talk more BattleTech. But so I think with that, guys, as always, this has been Larsh, your casual mech warrior. Thank you for tuning in for the First Circuit Podcast number 41. If you guys want to check out any of our channels or the people who were not here today, links are always down below in the description. Anyway, I think we have our last live stream podcast. I think it went well, and look forward to future ones with maybe less banter and better outros.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield.
Blarg.
Blarg.